Hey guys, the plan today is to see if this epic track that I've been working on is finished. If it is finished, then get it ready to be mixed and mastered. If it is not finished, then finish it. Because I am a big advocate of just getting things done and out of the window. And even though that is a priority for me and I'm a huge fan of that form of action, I have a tremendous backlog of tracks that are not finished because my rate of production is higher than my rate of finishing. So I think because my favourite thing to do is the writing process. The finishing, I'm often like, come on, it's details, which, as a lot of you know, details aren't my strong point. Or at least if I put some time into them, maybe they would be. But so here we go. This is my epic track. It's called 1, like Metallica, but the number with a 0 in front of it. I think I kind of went halfway house with regards to a template. So I think I imported my long strings and my brass, and that's it. This was, as you can guess, the first of a series of epic tracks that I was composing. Kind of slow burns. I was halfway unsure about some things about it when I finished, air quotes, finished it. That's why I've left it. So let's have a listen. And then for you, as an exercise, it would be like, what would I do to finish this track? Or is it like, Rich, this is a banger, it is done. So that's always good. Good listening for you, good listening for me. Let's have a listen and see what we think. dude, feeling a little bit emotional by that. I'm really happy with that. Done. No. I mean, I could actually leave it as it is. But the way I approach finishing a track is there anything that I can imagine needing added to this that I would regret not adding? I know that's a slippery slope because those perfectionists out there, you know who you are. Those perfectionists would be like, there's always stuff to do and change and to add. Yes, but there is a certain point where you go, meh, it doesn't really matter. No one's really going to notice that tiny EQ frequency that you're going to change. So, my first thoughts were awesome, obviously, but there were a couple of notes. The first note was I thought the long strings needed a bit more attack, i.e. they felt like they were a little bit lagging in timing. I felt like this section here drops down because you've got this tension created with this dun, dun, and then it drops down. So maybe want to look at that section there. I was tempted to extend this section. As in just to extend these last notes. Bam, bam. I think that would be cool. And then this last bit here. I feel like I want the high strings there, even if it is just in the first bit. They're very top octave, go down an octave, go down an octave. So first things first. That's my plan anyway. Everything else I'm pretty happy with, to be honest with you. I think it's the right level of emotion, etc., etc. So first of all, I'm going to check that because it's Jaeger I'm using, I'm going to check that they're all on. Yep, tight. Good. Which in that case, if they are all tight, which I presume they are, yes, then I just need to change the delay somewhat. Oops, direction mix. What I mean there is the sample delay, which you can change up here in Logic, down under in your region menu, under more where it says delay. I mean, I'm pretty used to doing this. With Spitfire samples, the sample delay is pretty much always like a 64th. It doesn't sound that laggy. So let's have a listen to. It was this section here, bar 57, that I really noticed it. So. That's better. Job done. Okay, now let's address this section here. Right, I think I know what happened. This often happens with my writing. I've moved the strings up so high that they're already at their top register. So, where are we? Oh, why can't I hear you? Yeah. Oh, come on. And this went C6. Yep. Yeah, so C6 is the top note. That's why I did that. And then we've got actually what chord is it? I don't know the chord sequence. Jaeger bass is it's C minor, of course. When are you ever not in C minor? When I'm in A minor. Smarty pants. So let's try going up to that C, see how that works. I think actually I might see if I carry that C across. There we go, that's done it. Woohoo! Now this last section. Oh, there's part of me that likes that. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to skip to this next bit, which is where I've got the high strings hammering. I think it's a legato patch, so Oh, that might explain it. If it's a legato patch and I've got octaves, then it might just be playing one of the two. Oh wait, let's check first before I get all excited. Yes, the violins. The violins is a legato patch. I think they're all legato patches. I think I've made a boo-boo. So let's just double check that. So it's good to check. There we go. Right, let's get rid of that. Top one. Let's get rid of that top one. I think I'm going to start the violas up there. So, in fact, I might just send these up an octave. Yeah. Just remember there's double. There we go. Got to delete the doubles first. I've already done it here, haven't I? Up to 6, up to 5. So that we should have descending octaves. So hopefully that sounds a bit more snazzy. Okay, that does sound cool. I think another element to it would be needing... Ooh, I've already done some automation. Maybe it just needs a bit more. It's just that very top one that's really noticeable. It's not just the top one, let's be honest with you, Richie. It's also this one. And then the one below will be noticeable. And yeah, you know what? I think it's the shape, actually. I think the shape needs to be more like that. Okay. Let's try it on the first one first before I get trigger happy with automation, because it's so annoying when you just fiddle with all the automation and then it's not quite right, so you have to change it all. Yes, that's the business. That's the business. So now I can get trigger happy with the automation, can't I? I mean, there isn't a trigger. Mouse happy? Yeah, I don't want to say finger happy. That sounds weird. Right. So that should do the trick. Select all the automation. And I know I said that details aren't often that important for me. This is often what I'm doing when I'm just finishing the track. It's just adding these details that I've either missed or ignored when it's come to the writing process. Because my favourite thing to do when writing, as those of you who've done any of my courses know, is just to get the ideas out as quick as possible. And then you can do all the fiddling and production work afterwards. Because as a composer and music producer, we often have to wear so many hats, you know, composer, orchestrator, producer, mixing engineer. Then let's not even get to marketing. So let's see if they hear this. So I go composer first, then I work on this stuff, which is the production. I think that gap is too big. Boom. Cool. Right, now let's go back to this section here because I want to know, do I extend this very last bit? A lot of the times when I'm teaching, I will suggest you extend that extend that final chord or the penultimate chord almost to the point of pain. Sometimes it's completely necessary, other times it's not. Because with slow burns, you've already built the tension endlessly, but it might just be the extra icing on the pudding. Yeah, needs it. Just needs it, doesn't it? Rich, don't be lazy. Just do your job, dude. I think it needs to go twice. So let's extend the piano. Boom. No, not loops. And let's take a look at that piano, see what's going on. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, we need to have that again, don't we? And we need to have... Oh, it's the short strings. You silly Billy. Okay, let's extend all these string longs. Not loop them. Down, down. Let's take... Oh, what's going on here? I might need to make some adjustments. Actually, let's just... Can I do that? I might need to make some adjustments as it gets on, but this kind of does the job for me. Now, brass. Ooh. Oh, what's going on here? You're ending a bit early, aren't you? Right. Now, here we go. Burp. Somebody's... Now, which one was it? It was you. Now, what is going on? What is this part doing? It's the counter melody. And it's the choral horns. And what note am I going to? Sorry guys, I'm just checking what I need to be doing. Okay, so needs to hold that. There we go. Okay, that's wrong, but okay, so that top horn needs to stay on the D. It doesn't need to, but I like it staying on the D, and then this choral horn thingy needs to stay up here on the B flat, and then I'm going to chuck it into a B natural to give that extra tension. So let's have a listen now to this section, see how this all sits, because this is the final thing for finishing it. Okay, good. I actually think we need to do that top thing on the horns too, so that's not even making a sound. Just delete those. There we go. Let's have a listen to that now. Cool. Okay, I want to just have a listen to this last bit just one more time. Yeah, I think I like that. Is that a bad thing? Okay, let's just actually. I don't think that doesn't make too much difference. I'm also keen to just try something joining these sections together, so it's not like. Also, this horn is, I think, Spitfire. So let's put it onto a 64th. Cool. This note is the one that's troubling me. Maybe just join them together. And let's see what this sounds like. Oh, it's sitting on the same note, isn't it? D. It's just not feeling right yet. So I think I'm still on the G chord here. Let's just try, if all else fails, dropping down. Was that what it was doing? If all else fails, drop down to the... Maybe let's try that 2 B naturals. Ah, Joel. There we go. Join them. Join them. Tempted to do this. Join these two. Yeah, that's good, but now this is feeling weird. Do go to the 7. I wonder if... I know I've just done that, but I wonder if what will happen if I climb up to the A flat. Yeah, I think it needs to do the whole climb, doesn't it? It needs to do the whole climb. Up to the B flat, then the B natural. Trombones as well. We're missing that kind of like sassiness because we're going from up here. So let's take that down to there. So let's see if that helps. Yes. Let's see. That is the business. I forget how much power the trombones bring to your brass sound. The horns are kind of like the little heroes doing their business, you know, and the trombones bring that kind of like slap in the face, which is totally essential. What happened? And let's move this automation up. So now we're getting those same swells that we had with the long violins. Now is happening in the brass, which is funny because I mean, I'm a huge fan of swells in dynamic swells, those in your tracks, as you can tell from the beginning of this track. So I was surprised I didn't put this in. Often I get to the end and I'm just like, just finish the track already. So. Cool beans. Right, now there's one more thing that there's just been niggling at me, is the short strings. Good. Can you see what the problem is? Richard, you've not changed the velocities. Yes, as I have gotten higher, I've just copy and pasted, which is, not uncommon for me. But even when you go up an octave, you can still play louder. So I'm just all over the place. Now let's just sort this, guys. Oh, what's it? Yeah, that'll do. So let's... Good. Okay, look at this. Come on, Rich. It's the finale. Why aren't the strings absolutely breaking it? They should be destroying the strings with their bows. Boom. I'm happy with this. Hooray for me. Now, the wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are a wonderful thing. Now, the wonderful thing about this for you is you can hear this and go, oh, that wasn't too hard. That wasn't too bad. And actually, there was loads of stuff you probably were thinking, Rich, what are you playing at, man? Dude, there's like some serious issues going in your writing, and I'm like, whatevs. Volume fade at automate. Volume. Oh my gosh, didn't sleep so well last night. Volume fade at the end. Logic does this lovely thing where it fades out the stereo. Now, I'm going to save that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bounce everything in place and replace. Bounce everything in place and replace. So what I need to do first is check a couple of things. I'm just going to put stem on these two because it labels them as you have written them. Audio 7 is nothing. Let's just check. Everything else is tickety-boo. Really, isn't it? Except for instrument 3. I don't know what you're playing at. Instrument 3, I've got everything else. Bass it, boom, 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 boom. Okay, right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. Now I've changed those things. I'm going to project alternative, new alternative, 01, mix. Okay. The reason I'm saving it as a separate alternative is because when I send my Logic file, I need to make sure that I don't have any of these snazzy EQs and plugins, etc. in the project. Now, it is in the project, it's in the project alternative 1, but when the engineer loads up mix, project alternative mix, then there'll be no silliness to faff around with. Right, so bounce and replace all tracks. Okay, bypass effects plugins. No, thank you. Include volume and panel automation. Yes, please. Normalize. Overload protection only. Yes. You may want to save as the project after balance place, which has been finished. Which is what I've pre-done that. Okay. So whilst this is doing its business, which takes a bit of time, this is one way you can go about getting your track finished, is having someone else do the mixing and mastering for you, which I'm a big fan of, because I don't love that side of the work. I like it. The bits I like, I try to include in the creative process. Where, be it the reverb, the panning, the balance. But when it comes to the proper mixing and proper mastering, I like to give it to somebody who loves that stuff. Because although the quality is not necessarily always audible, I feel like when I hear my track, when it's been properly mixed and mastered on a good system, on good headphones, even actually, to be honest with you, the most revealing one is on my phone. If I play a track on my phone that I've mixed and mastered, I'm like, that's not so great. When someone else has done it, I go, oh, nice, they've balanced it for this. And that's the difference. Someone who can mix and master your track so that it sounds decent on the commercial things, the things that people will be listening to your music on. Because it's all very well mixing and mastering your track so it sounds fat on some expensive studio monitors, but most people don't have expensive studio monitors. And I know what you're thinking. Some of you are thinking, yeah, but Rich, when it comes to trailer writing, that stuff does matter. And yes, and that's why they have editors who make your track sound even better. And that's why a lot of trailer music companies pay for the mastering, for one, and sometimes pay for the mixing, because it makes a big difference. And yes, that difference is often more revealing in a theatre or in a studio. But for me, I want it to sound good so that when someone listens to it on their phone, they go, tune. Nice. Because let's be honest with you, I like listening to my own music. I know it sounds egotistical, but I mean, if I didn't like listening to my music, would that be kind of silly? I mean, yeah, so I actually produce music for a living. I just hate the tracks I listen to. I produce hip hop for a living, but I don't like listening to hip hop. I mean, that seems silly, I will finish this off, and when the engineer sends it off to me, I don't know what's going on with my voice today. When the engineer sends it to me and sends it back, I'll listen to it and be like, tune, and then play it whilst I'm chopping up carrots. I don't always carrots. I don't always just eat carrots. Chopping up other vegetables, maybe even sometimes fruit, if I'm feeling fruity. There we go. What I could have done is I could have just not talked and just stopped the recording. But it's fun. We're having a chat. All is going well. Now here we go. This is where the fun happens. And Logic crashes. I'm sure it's going to do it. Is it going to crash? It might crash. In which case I will stop the recording. But anyway, yes. So this is some epic stuff. Now the purpose for this, I'm not actually pitching this to a library. Well, I am. I'm pitching it to my own library. I've been sort of umming and ahhing around. Oh, there we go. There's the magic. Phew, it didn't crash. Now let's save it. Now I've been umming and ahhing about this for years. In fact, over 10 years, as to whether I should start my own library, and not as in hire other composers and stuff like that, as in just representing my own catalogue, because I've got a huge amount of work that has never seen the light of day. I've got over 30 albums of music that some of it has seen the light of day, but kind of like in a dark room that no one ever goes to. This is me just doing some epic music for my own enjoyment to go out on my own library under a name that I haven't yet decided yet. I am tempted to bring Richard Schreiber back into the fold. Those of you know, I had the pseudonym of Richard Schreiber for years as my trailer writing pseudonym. I cast away with him a couple of years ago, just saying it was too confusing. Because people were like, wait, who's Schreiber and who's Perrin? And maybe, it is confusing. It still is confusing, so that's why I'm a bit hesitant to bring it back. Anyway, I've got the files here. Let's just check what's going on with this. Why have I got that? Why is that still there? That hasn't bounced and placed, and that has. So what I'll do is I'll just bounce that in place. Bounce in place. I've got to check. There we go. And delete that channel, because I don't want to have any plugins. I know some of you are going, wait, Rich, you've got a plugin. Oh no, what's this? EQ thumbnail. Oh, I don't know what that is. Anyway, an anomaly. And I have the stem of the strings long. Where are you? Oh, doy, that's the thingamajigger, isn't it? Yeah. Let's just take a look at that audio file. Yes. So these are the buses, which deselect used and continue. The selected auxiliary channel receives signal from an active bus routing. Are you sure you want to delete them? Let's just check. Where's the active bus routing? Here. Bus 1. So these guys can all go straight out to the output. I think, and these guys are all going through bus 2. Straight out the output. Delete. Oh, did I miss one? I don't think I did. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? I can just take these off. That would be the simplest way. No plugin. And then let's take off the mastering chain. I actually like to work with the mastering chain on, so I have a better idea of how it will sound at the end. Tune. Okay, do you know what was happening there? Phasing, because the signal, you had the stem playing at the same time as the individual channels. So if I solo it, you can hear it. Actually, it'll probably be more apparent in the brass. Excellent. I think I'm happy with this. I think this is ready to send out to be mixed and mastered. Now this part of the process is really, really important. So I want you to start practicing it a bit more. Taking a track from the past that you didn't finish, that you didn't give enough love to. Because I would feel sad to have another track on my computer just gathering digital dust. Right, I'll see you in the next one, guys.